Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariah and I'm really happy that you're here. So today we are going to be picking my May TBR. As a disclaimer, these are not all of my books. I'm in the process of moving from my house into my boyfriend's house, and my shelves are falling apart, so we didn't want to move my books over here except for a select few until we got new bookcases and we figured out where everything was going to go and everything. Our state being in lockdown, it's really hard to justify going back and forth between my house and his house. Most of my clothes are here, my pets are here, all of that is here, so I just haven't gotten around to moving my books. If you hear the dog whining in the background, she's not being abused or neglected. My boyfriend's outside mowing the yard, and she wants outside too, which obviously we can't do. So for today, I decided to do something new. I've tried a couple of different TBR pick options, and I'm trying to figure out which one I like best. I've tried the book monopoly method. I've tried book bingo, a form of book bingo. And today I found this really interesting website called the TBR Machine. That's the name of the website, the tbrmachine.com. It's a prompt randomizer for picking your TBR. So I'm going to choose 6 books and see where that takes us. So the first prompt is read a book written for young adults. Okay, that really opens up a lot, actually. I think I'm going to go with Amber and Dusk by Lyra Celine. This was in one of my owl crates, thus it's a different cover. I don't remember what this is about. Sylvie has always known she deserves more. Out in the permanent twilight of the Dusklands, the Sisters of the Scion taught her that her legacy, her power to create illusions, was a curse. But Sylvie knows it entitles her to a place in Cour d'Or, the palais of the Amber Empress, high-born legacies. And so Sylvie sets off toward the Amber City, a glittering jewel under a sun that never sets, to take what is hers. But her hope for a better life at court is quickly dimmed. The Empress Severine invites her only as part of a cruel wager among her beautiful and powerful courtiers. Sylvie must assume a new name, Mirage, and work to hone her magic. She begins to navigate secretive social circles and join deadly games of intrigue in order to claim her spot at court. And soon it becomes apparent that things are not as they appear. However, no one, including her cruelly yet captivating sponsor, Sunder, will answer her questions. As Mirage strives to seize what should be her rightful place, she must consider whether it is worth the price she will have to pay. So, it's about 359 pages. It has these gorgeous black cover pages before the story starts, and it has the same thing in the back. So that sounds like it could be potentially really good. So again, this is Amber and Dusk by Lyra Celine, and I have the Owl Crate edition. Read a book with a beautiful cover. Alright, so I had a few choices for this one. Winterwood, the Owl Crate edition. A Curse So Dark and Lonely. Spin the Dawn, this cover. The Bone House. The Kingdom of Back. And The Deep. So I'm going to be reading The Bone House by Emily Lloyd Jones. I'm not actually sure what this is about. It came in the Owl Crate, so I have the letter from the author, this really cool bookmark. It says, "Nothing stays buried forever," and it has a little lip for you to hold on to the pages. This says, 17-year-old Rin cares about only 2 things, her family and her family's graveyard, and right now both are in dire straits. Since the death of their parents, Rin and her siblings have been scraping together a meager existence as gravediggers in the remote village of Colbrin, which sits at the foot of a harsh and deadly mountain range that was once home to the Fae. The problem with being a gravedigger in Colbrin, though, is that the dead won't always stay dead. The risen corpses are known as bone houses, and legend says that they're the result of an old curse. When Ellis, an apprentice mapmaker with a mysterious past, arrives in town, the bone houses attack with a new ferocity. What is it that draws them near? And more importantly, how can they be stopped for good? Together, Ellis and Rin embark on a journey that will take them into the heart of the mountains, where they will have to face both the curse and the deeply buried truths about themselves. Equal parts classic horror novel and original fairy tale, the bone houses will have you spellbound from the very first page. I'm really excited for this one. If I wasn't in the middle of the magical readathon right now, I would be reading this. Read a book by an author who is now deceased. Okay. Grim, but sure. I actually have a couple of options for this too. I have The Best of H.P. Lovecraft or George MacDonald's At the Back of the North Wind, The Princess and the Goblin, and The Princess and Curdie. These are both new, so that's not really helpful. I'm going to flip a coin. Heads is H.P. Lovecraft, tails is George MacDonald. It's heads, so I'm reading H.P. Lovecraft, Blood-Curdling Tales of Horror and the Macabre, with an introduction by Robert Bloch. So this has The Call of Cthulhu, The Dunwich Horror, The Color Out of Space, The Shadow over Innsmouth, and The Shadow Out of Time. I really like H.P. Lovecraft, so I'm very excited to be trying this out. There is some controversy around him as a person. From what I understand, he was not necessarily a great person. It's sort of like the controversy around Rudyard Kipling. And maybe I'll do a video about my thoughts about reading authors from the past who would be considered controversial figures now, and what is making them controversial, and what I think should be our proper response to that, and whether we should keep reading them. So look out for that video. So number 3 on my list is H.P. Lovecraft, The Best of H.P. Lovecraft, Blood-Curdling Tales of Horror and the Macabre. Read a self-published book. I don't have any on my TBR. I don't even think I have any on, like, my Kindle. Let me see what I have in my Kindle library. So for self-published, I'm going to read Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. It tells how David Goggins overcame adversity to become a Navy SEAL and a world record holder. Read an Own Voices book. Okay, so I'm going to read The Deep. You've got to love that sheen on that cover. That's not glare, guys, by the way. The cover itself is iridescent. So The Deep is by River Solomon. They are an African-American writer who wrote An Unkindness of Ghosts and was a finalist for the John Campbell Award for Best New Writer. They graduated from Stanford with a degree in comparative studies in race and ethnicity. The Deep tells the story of a race of mermaids known as the Wajinru? I'm really sorry if I'm butchering this. But it's the water-dwelling descendants of pregnant African slave women thrown overboard by slavers. And it tells the story of Yetu, and Yetu holds the memories for all of her people. And she's forced to remember the fact they're descended from slaves. And were thrown overboard. And it says, Yetu holds the memories for her people. Her people, the Wajinru, water-dwelling descendants of pregnant African slave women thrown overboard by slavers, live idyllic lives in the deep. Their past, too traumatic to be remembered regularly, is forgotten by everyone, save one, save the historian. Yetu remembers for all of the Wajenru, and the memories, painful and wonderful, traumatic and terrible and miraculous, are destroying her. And so she flees to the surface, escaping the memories and the expectations and the responsibilities, and discovers a world the Wajenru left behind long ago. Yetu will learn more than she ever expected to about her own past and about the future of her people. If they are all to survive, they'll need to reclaim the memories, reclaim their identities, and own who they really are. It was inspired by the hit song by Clipping, comprised of Daveed Diggs, William Hudson, and Jonathan Snipes. The deep will resonate long after the last page is turned. So I'm both really excited and kind of terrified to read this book. I normally don't read hard-hitting that often, but I think that it's a good starting point to get back into that side of reading. So The Deep by River Solomon is my 5th pick. My 6th pick, read a book with blue on the cover. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 books with blue on the cover. So that's starting here, right here with Winterwood. All the Stars and Teeth, 8 Will Fall, A Discovery of Witches, Behold the Mighty Dinosaurs, A Curse So Dark and Lonely, Spin the Dawn, The Kingdom of Back, George MacDonald at the a collection. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and use my random number generator again. All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace. This is actually a newer acquisition. This is the Owl Crate cover. I recently saw Becca, I think, read this. And she wasn't that impressed with it. So it tells the story of a princess who is getting ready to take the throne of an island kingdom. And her demonstration goes awry and she's forced to flee. She ends up having to take up with a pirate named Bastian. Okay, so I'm really looking forward to this. This is All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace, so that's pick 6. If you notice, I'm wearing a different shirt and my makeup is different, my hair is different, and the reason for that is I was editing the video last night to post up for you guys, and it was my May TBR, and I realized that I didn't do a wrap-up. So my 6 picks for the TBR machine are right here. And they were The Best of H.P. Lovecraft, Blood-Curdling Tales of Horror and the Macabre, Amber and Dusk by Lyra Celine, All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace, The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd Jones, The Deep by River Solomon, I'm still obsessed with that cover, and Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. I'm also doing a buddy read with my friend Julia, who I've mentioned a few times on the channel, and we are reading Alice Isn't Dead by Joseph Fink, which is the same author who wrote Welcome to Night Vale, or one of the co-authors of Welcome to Night Vale, and I'm really liking it so far. I'm about 16 pages in. So stay tuned for my thoughts on that. Thank you guys so much for coming to my channel. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and leave a comment down below on what you're reading this month and what you are going to start with first. I'm starting with my workbook, which is Alice Isn't Dead, and I'm also starting with All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace. Thank you so much again, guys. Like, subscribe, and comment, and come back next week for more.